All right, let's talk about a super modern mystery, one I'm pretty sure you've seen happen yourself: the curious case of the social media ghost. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right? A friend, a creator you follow, someone who seems to live their entire life online. And then poof, they just go dark. So, where in the world do they go when they just vanish from the internet?
It's a story we've all seen play out. Their feed is this constant stream of updates, photos, opinions, what they had for lunch. They're a daily part of your online life. And then, with absolutely no warning, it's just radio silence.
Yeah, this has gotten so common that there's actually a name for it now: the social media ghost. It's exactly what it sounds like: someone who is super active online and then just stops everything, leaving all their friends and followers wondering what on earth happened. So, why does this even happen? Well, it's usually not random. More often than not, it's a direct reaction to a really specific and intense kind of pressure. And that's the core problem we're going to dig into right now. You can really boil this whole thing down to one powerful idea: the pressure of documenting everything. Our digital culture has created this sort of unspoken rule that we have to constantly share and perform our lives. And honestly, it can be absolutely exhausting. And this is where you can really see the central conflict. On one side, you've got that curated digital identity, the perfect highlight reel we build for everybody else to see. But on the other side, there's our authentic personal identity, who we actually are when the phone is off. And for so many people, trying to juggle those two is just a constant, stressful balancing act. Which leads to a huge question. What happens when that line starts to get blurry? When the pressure to perform your digital life starts to bleed into your real life? Well, the result is usually this intense stress and a really deep sense of identity confusion. So, faced with all that overwhelming pressure, people are starting to find their own solution. But we have to look at it in a totally new way. Disappearing isn't about failing or giving up. It's actually a very deliberate, strategic move. Let's be clear, becoming a social media ghost is almost never an accident. It's a conscious choice. It's someone deciding to take back control from the algorithm, from the audience, and from that relentless demand for more content. And making that choice to just log off really tackles the problem head on. It creates this kind of domino effect of good things. First, you get rid of that constant nagging pressure to document your life. Then that naturally lowers your stress levels. And the biggest reward of all, you actually get to protect and maybe even rediscover who you really are. A great way to think of it is this: the goal is to rebuild a really crucial boundary. As this quote puts it, it's a way of separating real life from the digital stage. It's all about reclaiming your life for you, not as some kind of performance for an audience. So what's the big takeaway here? Maybe it's time we totally reframe how we think about this. I mean, instead of seeing it as antisocial or just weird, what if we started looking at it as a modern and maybe even necessary self-care strategy? Because let's face it, in a world that demands we are on 24/7, a world that is completely hyper-documented, choosing to log off isn't just taking a little break. It can be a truly radical and vital act of self-care. It's about self-preservation. And that leaves us with one last big thought to chew on. In this huge collective search to live more authentic lives, is disappearing from the digital world the only way we have left to be truly present in the real one? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.